everybody, welcome back to another episode of Small Business 101 here on How About You.
Yes, we have a great episode today, right?
Yes, we do.
We're talking about recruiting, and who better to talk about recruiting than our recruiter? We have Kim Schultz from Acara. Is that right?
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for coming
Thanks for
in.
having me.
Yeah, no problem.
Pleasure's all ours. So, start off by telling us a little about yourself. How you got into recruiting?
Well, I actually, before I was a recruiter, I worked in college admissions. So it was actually a really great transition. I worked in college admissions for a couple years and kind of wanted something bigger, better. So kind of let friends and family know that I was looking, which is actually an awesome tip for job seekers. If you are looking for a new job, make sure that people know, Make sure your friends know, make sure your family knows, because everybody knows everybody in Buffalo.
That is the thing with Buffalo.
So I let people know that I was looking and got my resume to Superior Group, which is now Acara Solutions, and here I am 3.5 years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
What school?
Bryant and Stratton College.
Got it. Cool. So how do you like recruiting?
I love recruiting. I love finding people new jobs, their dream jobs, getting them more money, getting them a better atmosphere. It's super rewarding. It's super awesome. Love it.
What do you look for when picking a recruit? Is that right?
Yeah.
A recruit?
There's a lot of different things to look for. Obviously, my client comes first, so I really try to understand what they are looking for in a candidate. So I try to really understand their education requirements and culture and background and experience. And then when I'm looking at candidates, I'm looking, do they meet what my client is looking for? Do they have the education background? Do they have that same sort of culture or personality fit that will mesh well with the team?
Nice segue. So, speaking of all that, how important is culture to matching a candidate?
So important.
Really?
And I think it's gotten a lot more important recently. We were just talking, before this even started. And, you were late. You were late to the game.
We're not 10 minutes early, you're late.
And we were talking about how, I'm sorry.
No.
We're talking culture with like millennial generation, right?
Yeah. And how maybe a few years ago it wasn't as important as it is now, but culture is just becoming so important to even like the younger generation, kids that are just getting out of college. They're seeing what these awesome companies like Google and Amazon are doing, and they're like, well, I want to work for a company like that. So I think companies are slowly starting to integrate some of those really cool features that bigger companies are doing.
How do you know a company's culture? Like, how can you gauge that?
By meeting with them before you start recruiting on some of their jobs. So I like to meet with a client and maybe visit their office space, meet with a couple of members of their team, take like a quick tour, just get a better feel for like what the office vibe is like. I ask them, what's a standard day in the office? Is everybody like sitting at their desk, or are they quiet, heads down, not talking, or is everybody like making friends, grabbing coffee? Are you going out to happy hours? Are you, doing bowling on the weekends?
Big bowlers. Big bowlers.
See, and that's, then I wouldn't want to find someone who just wants to sit at their desk all day and do their work.
Yeah,
Right.
I wanted to recruit softball players. That was my goal.
Right.
For our softball team.
Yeah.
We still lost every
We still didn't work. We could not find good softball players.
You tried to recruit me for the softball
I
team.
recruited everyone for the softball team. Anyone who could play softball, I was ready to recruit them.
One of the biggest concerns we get from our current clients, which are majority collection agencies, is it's hard to recruit people. They need to know how to recruit people, how to bring people on board. And we were talking before.
It's hard.
Collection agencies isn't something that you guys are, that you do very much, but you do work with a few. But you said there was a lot of carryover, right?
Yeah, I think what collection agencies can do to attract and retain great talent is something that really can go with any company, whether
Right.
it's a call center, customer service, whether it's an office or anything of the sort. I mean, I think there are things that every company can do to do that. So making the office space an environment, like an inviting place that someone's gonna want to come to
Great
work
tip.
in
That is a
every
great tip. 'Cause
day.
a lot of times you walk into these places
So,
and
so that's the easiest and the cheapest
it's
thing.
the easiest thing to do. Get a fresh coat of paint
Yeah.
and some peel on floors, and you're happier than a
Yep.
Yeah, comfortable chairs, good lighting, good desk
Yeah.
space.
no.
Yeah, I mean, just make it an inviting place that people want to come to work. And then also, I think it's important that companies ask their current employees what they like and what they don't like, because I think that's a great way that companies can attract new talent, is by seeing, okay, what are our current employees liking, or what are they maybe not liking? I know, personally, my supervisor asks me every once in a while, hey, what can we do for you? What do you need from me to make you happy? And you can't be quiet. You got to tell people, if you're unhappy about something, make it known. The worst they're going to say is no. So,
I love that. Or what's that question in about half an hour?
flexible work hours are like something that's become huge. Being able to work from home, the flexibility is really important, because companies are now learning that people have lives outside of work. They have families, they have dogs, they have other activities that they like to do. So, and I think good employees will want to balance that work-home life.
Right.
Who doesn't want to balance that work
Yeah,
home
that's
life, right?
you said that's something you recently started having, right?
Yeah, our company recently, brought in a flexible work schedule where we can really work between 7 and 7, and it's awesome. We love it. Oh yeah.
It's myself.
We love it, and it changed how the office vibe is completely. Everybody's so much happier, because if for the people who are morning people like me, who want to get there nice and early, want to get their day done and get to the gym after work and then still get home and it's still light outside, like that's me. And then we've got other people who maybe are morning people, they want to stroll in 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, but they can work, later into the evening. That works too.
How's that being received?
Awesome. I mean, we've gotten really positive feedback from our management team. They haven't seen any drop in numbers. As a matter of fact, they've actually just seen us all so much happier.
How do you, now we're going to gear off a little bit, but how do you, your role is very much almost like sales based, right, to a certain extent?
Yeah,
So
I'm selling candidates, I'm selling clients.
Yeah, I'll make everything a sales role. So what do you do by the people who work till 8 o'clock at night? What are they doing between 5 and 8 o'clock?
Actually, that's a great time to get a hold of candidates.
Oh, okay. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
because they're not at
They're
work.
not at work, they're at home. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So actually, a lot of my job is done during lunch hour, between 11 and 1, when people are taking lunches. I'll get messages out in the morning, people can respond on their lunch hour, and then I always make myself available. And that's another thing, actually. So I work 7 to 4, but I make myself available from 4 till 8 o'clock at night. And I think that's really important, because my company gave back to me that flexibility. So I'm giving back and saying, okay, well, I can be available after work hours to talk with candidates that are currently working.
That's awesome.
So what are some, when somebody's looking for candidates, if they're not using a recruiting service, or they can't afford to use a recruiting service, they're just starting out, are there any red flags that you look for when somebody signs up where you're just like, no, I'm not even gonna
Oh, that's
touch
a great
this?
question, a terrible candidate.
Yeah, just where you don't even want it, you don't want to touch
Oh,
it. you don't-
yeah.
you just don't worth it.
What's the good?
I would say the job hopping. So if someone has had 10 jobs in the last 4 years, there's probably a reason why they haven't been able to stay at any one job.
So interesting.
Of course, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but that's probably one that I wouldn't even call. But I like to always hear everybody's story out. Everybody has a different story. You never know. Maybe they just wanted to work some contract positions. They were going in between things. Maybe they just want to work, contract positions moving forward, and that's fine too. I would say other red flags are just candidates that don't follow up very quickly. You know, if you talk to them and you ask them to send you their resume and you don't get it right away.
That's a flag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably a
We've
flag.
actually turned people down because they haven't responded in a timely manner.
Yeah. People that don't, you know, take drug tests right away.
Oh, that would be a flag too.
Another
Yeah.
red flag. But no, I think it's really important to hear people out and give everybody the opportunity to tell you their story
Right.
before making that red flag decision on a candidate.
Right.
Usually I can tell within the first minute of talking with
Really?
someone. Yeah.
So on the flip side,
Yeah.
what is like, oh my God, this person's great.
Should I pull out my resume?
Yeah.
I couldn't contain that one.
You know, there's a lot of things that people can do to make themselves stand out. Complete opposite of everything that I said. Someone that's got strong work history, you know, they
Supplies
show
a drug test up front.
they can demonstrate. They can demonstrate they've stayed at a job, that they've maybe progressed through a job. Like they started off in one position and then they were able to grow and take on bigger and better roles. Someone who's quick to follow up, you know, gets in touch with you via email, phone, text. Someone who's not afraid to be a little bit aggressive during the job search, because I found that those candidates are the most likely to stay with you in the process, and if you offer them a job, they're going to accept.
What's the average length of time? So, like, you hear a lot about people like job hopping, right? And it's like a trendy thing among millennials.
job
Like,
hopping, yeah.
how long should someone stay at a job?
That's a hard question.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
glad I cracked it.
well, I'll take myself for example. So actually, this with Acara, this is the longest job I've ever been in since I graduated from college 10 years ago. I've been with them for 3.5 years. But before that, I think it was between like 1 and 2 years. I was kind of bouncing, but I was also trying to find where I was a good fit. So I think you kind of have to take a little bit into consideration when talking to people who are just graduating college. And I think I understand that because I went through it. You don't really know what you want to do
Right.
when you grow up,
Yeah.
I guess you could say. People are still trying to figure it out.
And grow up.
You know, it takes time. It takes time. So I would say, and I try to tell people this, you know, give it a chance. Stick it out. Try to make the best of it. Try to learn from every job you're in. Learn something positive that you can take with you on your next journey.
Wow, so optimistic. Every question was an optimistic answer. What's a tip for someone who's currently job hopping? How do they help themselves stand out?
If someone's job hopping, then the first thing I tell them, and they're looking to leave their current position,
Yeah.
I will flat out tell them, you need to stick it
Stay,
out.
yeah.
You need to stay. You need to make the best of it. You got to figure out a way that you can be content going into work every day. I need you to stick it out for at least 2 years in a job. If you've been job hopping consistently, try to stick it out for 2 years. And then what we can do is you can take off some of those old jobs on your resume and eliminate them so it doesn't look necessarily like you've been job hopping.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tip.
Yeah.
Pro tips.
Yeah, wow, look at that. Got anything else?
Yeah. Any final tips, or you got it? Is that it?
Yeah, why should someone use a recruiter?
Yeah.
Boom, thought of that, not on the paper.
Oh no, that's a great question.
Thank you very
And
much.
actually, I think recruiters have gotten bad raps in the past for maybe being pushy or trying to get people into jobs that aren't great.
We hated recruiters.
We did.
We
Yeah.
did, because they get the aggressive LinkedIn mailboxes.
Yeah, I've got this awesome job. You need to talk to me right now.
Yeah.
No, and that's not. I think using a recruiter or an agency is actually really important because, especially for someone who's working. You know, you're working, looking for a new job. You can't do that Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Right.
I can. I'm doing that 9 hours, 10 hours a day.
7 to 4, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to, you know, professional networking events. I'm meeting with companies all over the area. I know who's looking for what type of candidate. Chances are, if we have a conversation within a couple months, I'm going to have a great job for you.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not you.
I
Hopefully
understand.
not you.
I understand that completely. I would not want me anywhere else.
Yeah,
You
you'd
can't
have trouble
spread this
placing
plague. Yeah, take them.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, right?
Yeah, thanks for watching. I mean, basically, it's a collection agency. If whether you're a collection agency, whether you're a barber shop, whether you're a
Software
restaurant,
startup.
everyone has this problem. It's not
It's
just
the biggest problem.
Yes.
Any company, any industry, anywhere
Yeah.
faces is I cannot find good employees.
Yeah, I think a lot of companies just always, they like, oh, we're different. We have this problem, no one else does, right? And it's like, our problem's different. No, it's not. It's the same. It's across the board. Everyone has this problem. So,
And you know what? You can't do it as well as a recruiter can. I know
No.
that sounds crazy, but like you think like, oh, I'm a great interviewer, I can do this. You can't. It's
Yeah.
just not true. You spend hours going through 50 interviews to find one person you like, right? Versus a recruiter will send you 5 people you do like,
Right.
and then an Emily. So I would highly recommend a recruiter.
Yeah, so call me.
same. We'll put Kim's information below.
Cool. Thanks so
Thanks.
much for watching. See you next week.
See ya.